I'm delighted to be joined by Chelsea legend, World Cup winner Frank Leboeuf. There's so much I want to talk to you about today, but I'm going to kick it off towards the end of your career. Hollywood United. Can you tell me all about that experience playing with Vinnie Jones? Any stories you can share?
That was the best time of my life. We were playing on Sunday morning. We had no dressing rooms, and you share your time with Anthony Lapaglia, Vinnie Jones, Owen Wilson, so many fantastic actors and also singers. It was a great time because the best time was after the game when we had to drink a little beer and share some times and talk about memories and whatever it could have been about our former clubs or as for themselves supporters of some teams. That was a great time. But I enjoyed playing. I was playing in the middle of the park. I wasn't playing at the back. That was so boring. But I was, and I was the coach for sometimes for them for the American Cup. But that was just a friendly club with some good people and Ian Carrington was the guy who made me come. He's a Spurs fan. Nobody's perfect, but he introduced me to the guys, and that was the time where I needed to go back to football because I was in LA. I didn't know what to do. I was at the end of my career. I was following courses for theater, but I had to meet people, and that was the best way to get introduced in the LA crazy world.
I mean, it sounds like you had an amazing time up there, and you've done loads of cool things throughout your career. I know that you once ended up in Monte Carlo accidentally playing Blackjack with Sir Alex Ferguson, so can you tell me about that?
Yeah, that was a great time, and it took me like an hour to in fact acknowledge that I was next to him and his lovely wife. And I don't know if he saw me. I don't think he saw me as well. So it's just when we talked and how do you call the croupier? I don't know if you say the same in
Yeah,
English.
yeah,
The
I think
guy
that's right.
croupier. He said to me, "Do you know you have Sir Alex Ferguson next to you?" He told me in French, and I said, "What? Oh, wow, 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 come be." And we stopped playing, and we started chatting about football, and that was something special because the guy, of course, is a legend, but such a nice person, so much down to earth, and that was a great time. We stayed like an hour and a half after that, and again with his wife and everything, and we started to play. I think we were winning as well, so it's why it was a better atmosphere.
I imagine that must have been absolutely fantastic for you. But you've had so many achievements throughout your life, obviously winning the World Cup, and I know that you had to mark Ronaldo in that game. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, that was a big pressure because I wasn't supposed to play. Substituted Laurent Blanc because he got a red card in a semi-final, and I knew by Aimé Jacquet because he told me before the World Cup that if either Marcel or Laurent would be injured or red carded, I would play, and so I was ready to play. But the 3 days before the World Cup, that was intense, and I knew. Because French people are like that. That if we would have lost, it would have been because of me and because Frank Leboeuf. No, he's not a big player because he didn't know anything about me and what I was achieving at Chelsea, and that's okay. The pressure always helped me to be better, and I knew that I would be able to do that, and what I did because I wasn't marking only Ronaldo because everybody, all the players, Brazilian players, they knew Marcel Desailly, Lilian Thuram, so they were all coming to me, Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Bebeto. So I had a piece of them every 10 minutes. They were moving around, but when you play with Barthez at your back. Alongside Thuram and Desailly in front of you, you have Petit, Deschamps, or Vieira who came on, or even Bogossian. I mean, everybody works hard, and they were so talented players. And then I played so many times with them that I knew exactly what I was capable of doing, and I felt stressed by the result, not by the performance that I was capable of doing. On top of it, it was 98. We won the League Cup with Chelsea. We just won the the Cup Winners' Cup with Chelsea against Stuttgart. So I was in a phase where everything was positive. Everything was very, um, enjoyable, and I never wondered during that time if I was good enough to get into that position. For me, it was just normal. And I think I was working for the Times at the time, and I made an article saying, "Don't worry, we're going to win the World Cup." And it was like 1966 in England, where you play at home. It's your first time, and you play against the team you maybe hate the most because they're talented. So for you it was Germany, and for us it was Brazil. So that was the perfect night. And England won it, and we keep on talking about it. And it's the same in '98. People every day, they don't say well done, they say thank you, because it's a sharing time. And that was the same I think at the time in England. That was very special.
Absolutely. It was an amazing achievement for you. You obviously know exactly what it takes to win the World Cup. So with that said, who do you think is going to come on top this year? And do you think England have any chance?
First of all, yes, England have a chance, because with the talent that they have, of course they have a chance. How are they going to find the real chemistry that we are looking for years, where in fact clubs seems to be bigger than the national team, and the rivalry that you find between the players in the clubs are so big that sometimes it goes into the national team. We had that in '92 between Marseille and Paris, and that was very difficult for the coach to find people being capable of only thinking about the nation and not only their clubs. Uh, there are, for me, four teams. You have to put Argentina, because they won the World Cup. Even if I think they are the least favorite for me out of the three that I'm going to mention. France, of course, because what we have is only exceptional. And in terms of individuals, I think they are much better than 2018, but even 1998. I mean, at front, come on. If you are the coach, you don't know who to pick. Yeah? Doué, Barcola, Mbappe, and so many players play Mateta, Olise. I mean, that's crazy. That's insane. That's insane. You don't know what to do with those, because they are so good. And in the middle of the park, the same. At the back with Saliba, Konate. Konate seems to be back to a better Konate. Indeed, it's great. And you have a good team. So France, then Portugal. I see playing Neves, Vitinha, Ramos, and Mendes for Paris Saint-Germain. The only concern that I have is how Ronaldo gonna be during that World Cup, because if he's fit, the coach will have to play him, but it's going to be games every 4 days, and he's 41, and you have to pay respect to his age. So yeah, the talent is there, but will he be able to understand that maybe he has to rest? That's going to be the most concern for the best of this team. But I think he's been outstanding during the qualification, and he scored goals. So he has his part to prove to this team, and to achieve something. I think we saw 4 years ago, we saw Messi winning the World Cup. Yeah, I'm French, so France would be favorite, but in a way, it would be nice to see Ronaldo winning the World Cup as well. You know, it's always nice. Yeah, I've been sad to remember that Cruyff and Platini never won the World Cup, and that's so sad, because they should have, and Ronaldo should win the biggest title in the world. And England, because again, you have everywhere, in every lines, you have world-class player. And again, it's up to the coach, Tuchel, to find that chemistry that we are looking for like 20 years, I would say, or even more. 98, they had a great team. 2010, they had a tremendous team. Remember that team with Terry, Lampard, and Gerrard, and so many other players. They were so good. That was a generation of a successful team, and they didn't because the competition between clubs were too big, and I didn't feel the chemistry. But England has to be put as favourites, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And we talked about your international career. I want to talk a little bit about your time at Chelsea. And I know that you came because Rudd Gullit was absolutely desperate to get you there. You had a nice phone call, so can you tell me about that?
Yes, unbelievable phone call. I think he lied a little bit, but he wanted to be nice to me. But I was at Strasbourg and I was about to sign for Marseille. It didn't happen because of the money, and I was at the European Championship in England with the national team, and suddenly I received a phone call with Graham Rix, who played in France in Caen and Le Havre, and he said, well, I want to put you through to somebody who wants to talk to you, and I said, who? I said, Rudd Gullit, and he wants you. I said, what? Does he knows me? and Ruud talked to me and said, yes, I'm so happy that you don't play for the national team, because nobody can see how good you are, and we saw you many times at La Méno in Strasbourg, and we saw you many times, and we want you. Amazing. I said, Rudd Gullit wants me, and you have Mark Hughes, Dan Petrescu, Steve Clark, Denis Wise, Roberto Di Matteo just signed, Gianluca Vialli just signed. He said, I want to try to get Gianfranco Zola, Dimitri Karin were there. I say, okay, don't say more. I want to come. I didn't know where Chelsea was. That was my first time in England. And I discovered a fantastic club with fantastic people and fantastic players. And that became my family. And I was so happy because blue is my color. I played for Strasbourg. Mo before, that was blue, and Marseille after Chelsea was blue, and that's and after Strasbourg, where really I found a family club, that was the same with Chelsea, where we were happy to see each other every morning, to tease each other, play each other. Seeing young players like John Terry coming out in winter with short sleeves and shorts, and say, "Are you crazy?" And he said, I'm just English. But that was a great time, and I'm so happy that I made that choice. That I spent 10 years in two clubs where everything was perfect in terms of players, fans, and coaches. So that was great. And well, having Rudd Gullit alongside you, because I played like a couple of times with him. He was at the end of his career. But somebody comes to you, the guy was a legend with Milan AC and of course his Dutch team, Dutch national team, saying, "Hey, lovely boy, another good game. Thank you very much." I say, "Well, whatever you want, Mister Legend." That's amazing.
Perfect. Frank, it's been such a pleasure talking to you. I've really enjoyed it. But my last question before I let you go, I know that you obviously played with some greats. You mentioned Mark Hughes there. Was there an occasion once where you were on the pitch with him and there was three players all fighting to get the ball off him and then they all ended up on the ground?
Amazing, amazing. That guy had calves like my quads. You know what I mean? You know that was amazing. He was a fighter. He was a warrior. Yeah, and I think Barcelona and Bayern Munich, or the Bundesliga and the Liga weren't ready to welcome Mark Hughes because he was too strong for the defenders. And it's true that I knew when he was playing that if we were under pressure, I had to find him in order to put the team and to move up, because I knew he was capable of keeping the ball. And I saw that. I really saw that. I saw three players on him, and he was keeping the ball in a way that the guy couldn't go around him, or were going around him, they couldn't catch the ball. And suddenly I saw the three guys on the floor and him with the ball. Well, I guess he deserved maybe 2 yellow cards and maybe 1 red card at the same time, but he was still up and the others, they were on the floor. But what a player and what a gentleman. I have to put that on top of it, because that was a very outside of the field. The guy was so much educated, nice, calm person. And it was like the guy behind the steering wheel, you know, and you go in the car and you're another person. On the field, Mark Hughes was another person.